my first card show. I'm going to take you guys with me, West Coast Card Show in Ontario, California. I've got Jordan here behind the camera. He's looking for Pokemon. You know what I'm looking for, it's obvious. Let's go see what we find. Four months ago, I didn't even know One Piece had a trading card game, and now I'm at my very first card show with a binder full of cards. On a mission to trade my way to higher-end One Piece grails. But the only problem is, I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel, and if you're new here, honestly, I'm new here too. I'm pretty new to the TCG world, especially One Piece cards. But over the last few months, I've become completely fascinated with this hobby. Not just the cards themselves, but the collecting, the investing, the rarities, the grading, the card shows, all of it. And I figured instead of pretending to be some sort of expert, I'd just document the journey as I learn. See, I've actually collected cards before. Back in the day, I had basketball cards, World Cup cards, even Garbage Pail Kids. But I grew up during what collectors called the junk wax era. Basically, everybody had the same cards. Nothing really felt rare. My collection never really gained much value, and eventually I just lost interest. Fast forward a lot of years later, and I started spending a lot of my free time learning storytelling and screenwriting and content creation. I've always loved worlds with deep lore and interesting characters, and around 2020, I discovered One Piece. During lockdown, I suddenly had a lot of free time on my hands, and at first I started reading the manga, and eventually I moved into the anime. I loved the whole world that Ichiro-san has built. The characters, the emotional moments, but I have to admit, the pacing in the anime was brutal to binge watch. Then lockdown ended, life got busy again, and One Piece kind of disappeared into the background for a while because I was back to work and I was busy. Then
and I'm gonna be king of the pirates.
Netflix dropped the live action series. And somehow I got hooked all over again. Now I'm reading the manga again, I'm watching the anime again, and I'm trying to catch up with people who've been following the story for years. And then about 4 months ago, I found out that One Piece had a trading card game. And when I saw some of the prices of these rare cards, I just kind of really got curious about what it's all about. And I'm not going to lie, ripping packs is insanely addictive. Over the last 4 months, I've ripped my fair share of packs. But outside of a Whitebeard SP from OP15, I haven't really packed anything too crazy. But honestly, another thing I became addicted to was watching vendor POV videos on YouTube. I'd sit there watching people walk around the card shows and make deals all day, and eventually I thought, all right, it's time for me to stop watching and actually go to a card show and experience one for myself. And this is what this video is about. I want to show you guys what I went through, and here is the mission I was on. I brought a binder worth roughly about $800 according to TCG Player. Plus, I had about $500 in cash, and my goal was simple. Leave this show with higher-end One Piece cards, specifically Zoro, Luffy, and Ace cards because those are my favorite characters in that order. When we first walked into the show, though, honestly, I was a little bit intimidated. There were tables everywhere, people carrying cases, massive binders. Collectors clearly knew way more than me. Then, suddenly a giant Pokemon mascot came sprinting towards us. Look, I don't know the name of all these Pokemon names, but this kind of broke the tension, and Pokemon was absolutely everywhere, which worked out perfectly for Jordan because he's been collecting Pokemon for years. Meanwhile, I was basically on a hunt for One Piece vendors. Then it happened. At the first One Piece vendor table, I saw one of my dream cards, the Bubble Zoro. And seeing it in person was completely different than seeing it online. The problem was that the vendor wanted around $800 for it, which would have basically wiped out my entire budget immediately. So I told him I might come back for it later. After that, I kept walking around and eventually found another One Piece vendor, but his setup was completely different. He had displays with a bunch of slabs. The only loose raw cards he had were in boxes. So now I'm literally digging through stacks one by one trying to find hidden gems, and at one point the vendor asked me what was I looking for, and I told him mainly SPs and treasure rares. And then the vendor next to him overheard me and said he had raw SPs and treasure rares too. So I walked over and started looking through his cards, and honestly, this experience taught me something that I'll never forget. Something happened here that I want to share with you guys so you can learn from it and not make the same mistake that I did. Obviously, some of you guys are veterans and you already know not to make this mistake, but for us newbies, this is something we need to watch out for. When you're looking for raw cards, there's always a risk. There could be tiny scratches, white spots, bad centering, and things of that nature. But I trust my eye. So I was okay with taking that risk because of all the savings you basically take advantage of by not buying pre-slabbed or pre-graded cards. This guy had 4 big displays at his table. 3 of them were filled with PSA graded slabbed cards, and they were all highly priced because they were all graded really well. And then he had 1 display of raw SPs and treasure rares, things that are valuable but all raw. Jordan kind of gave me a little warning and said, hey man, there might be a reason why he didn't get those cards graded, because it really seems like he grades 70-80% of his merchandise, and how come these aren't graded? He might be noticing that there's something wrong with them. I also thought that, well, he's a vendor, who knows, he might have traded for them recently and he hasn't had a time to get them graded, and now I can pick them up before they go get graded and they become more valuable. So I studied and looked at the cards meticulously because I really wanted the Treasure Rare Zoro and the Luffy Taru cards. That's what he had in raw. So I'm looking at them, they look good to me, and the lighting in that area is not the greatest lighting ever, but they look pretty good, and I made a deal. Unfortunately, the deal I made required me paying him a lot in cash. He wouldn't just take nothing but a trade for it, which actually surprised me because I thought I had a lot of good cards in my binder, and like I said, about $800 worth on TCG Player that I thought I would be able to, you know, trade and get rid of them all, keep that 500 in cash, and use that 500 cash to get more stuff down the road with other vendors. But it didn't work that way.
Do 170 for these?
So sticker, you have 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works.
Thanks.
Thank you.
See, there are a lot of cards that you think that people will trade for that they just won't, because they know what sells and what doesn't, and we're going to get to that in a second. I pick up the Zoro and I pick up the Luffy Taru cards, and I'm super excited until I got home. And I'll let you know what I discovered at the end of this video after I got home. So after this, we found another vendor, and I love these 2 guys.
Are we on camera?
The Backyard Hooligans, run by these 2 Cambodian brothers. These guys were my kind of people, man. They were always laughing, making jokes. They were just loving life, just enjoying the hobby. Exactly what I wanted to feel, the vibe I wanted to feel by going to a card show.
All right, they got a Luffy. The Luffy I want, a Championship Zoro. I'll show it to you guys in a second when I get them in my hands and they're mine. But for now, I'm trying to trade all these in for the Championship Zoro, the Luffy, and 1 more card that I see there on the edge. It'll be a surprise in a second. Trying to get rid of these Borsalinos. I priced these out about 4 days ago and put these stickers on so I remember what they're going for. And this totals somewhere around 190. I want to see what it'll offer me because the stuff I want, he's got stickered, come out to about 240. So I got 190 here, he's got 240. Obviously, he's not going to give me a full 100% trade value. So let's see what we can do here.
Actually, I'm going to ask him if you want that. Danny, I want these 3.
I think I'd rather hold the gold right now.
What do you want? I want these
I'll give you anything else but the gold.
I've got more, by the way, in here if you guys want.
Oh, don't be over here.
If you need little things,
Oh, yeah,
like,
the smaller stuff?
yeah, like I've got that Nami, I'd be
I have,
okay. If you want this stuff, you can have all of it.
No, that's the wrong one. There's another guy. He wanted a different Sabo.
That one?
No, we passed it.
And I'm willing to get rid of anything you see here until we get to the back that I'm not willing to get rid of stuff.
Yeah, see him.
That Brook. Miss All Sunday, even though I kind of like that one. The Megalo.
Imagine, what do you want before we start looking through my stuff?
What do I want?
Yeah. So we can just exchange.
I want that.
I saw it last time.
The Luffy on top of that. Yeah.
The guy was
The
You want
champion.
both of them or just one?
Just one.
Okay. I'll let you pick which one you want.
Championship Zoro.
Okay.
kill two.
Yeah, that's nice. I like it. All right. Yeah, this one.
Perfect, brother. I want you to. So yes to this one. No to this one, right, boss?
Yeah. Okay. So what can we do on?
Oh, perfect. Let me see. Danny, you want any of these stuff or his binder? You want these three?
This we have a few of. This we have a few of.
I want these 3 then.
Yeah, we can take those.
Yeah, but do you want anything else in this binder?
Anything off limits?
Yeah, I just picked.
Pokemon.
I picked up. No, not that. I picked up the exactly. I just picked up these.
Point exactly, dog.
These last 2 pages I just picked up, so I don't want to get rid of those 2 pages. Anything before that is yeah, sure.
So we did end up making a deal. I got a Zoro and a Luffy promo card. That's pretty cool. My first promo cards I've ever had in my collection, so I was really happy about that. But something surprised me again. This was now the second vendor in a row that didn't really want any of my Crocodile cards and some of my other cards. And when I asked them why, he just told me straight up, Crocodile just doesn't really move. That was another lesson for me. Not every rare card is equally liquid. Popularity matters, guys. Character demand matters. So at this point in the day, I've picked up 2 Luffy cards, 2 Zoro cards. And I already spent about $350 cash because I was actually having a hard time trading my cards. So I got to get an Ace card because Ace is another one of my favorite characters. Like I told you, I'm on a mission to get those 3. But I only have a little bit of cash left. So the hunt continues. Then something unexpected happened. While I was walking around the showroom floor, I suddenly realized...
What's up, dude? I've been watching you for like a while now, man.
I watch a lot of vendor POV videos, and TCG Baka's videos are some of my favorites, man. You can tell Ryan genuinely loves One Piece. He plays the game, he understands the cards, he seems really fair when it comes to making deals. So I was really excited to actually make a deal with him. I didn't think he was going to be at this show.
John, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
You do YouTube?
Trying to, just starting. This is episode 1, actually.
Oh.
And it's like being at a card show for the first time.
Welcome.
Dude, I'm looking at the Ace SP right above you in blue, that one.
Yes. And 2 of them.
I only want one. You tell me which one's the better looking one.
Ace or ace? In terms of great ability, this one looks
Yes.
pretty clean.
I'll take your word for it. And then I'm trying to get a little something maybe for the Brook and the Crocodile, and I'll pay the rest in cash.
Yeah, which one? Brook?
That Brook,
Yeah.
this Croc.
I'll pass on the Croc. Croc doesn't sell for me.
Why is everybody saying that? Nobody likes Croc anymore.
No, I love Croc. It just not no one buys the card.
No one buys the card.
I'll take that in though. I'll take the Miss All Sunday.
I love Nico Robin.
Okay. 20 trades, so you'll meet.
Everyone's been offering me that when they see it. They go, yeah, I'll take the Miss All Sunday. I'm like,
because you can see it behind the thing.
yeah. And then if you need any of like Jinbeis, I know they're cheaper, but Jinbeis, that Zoro, I have too many of them.
I have to pass on this for now.
Okay.
I have a lot of playables
Oh, good.
as well.
I get that. Yeah. Okay.
Trade 120.
120.
Work?
Yeah, that works.
Oh man, easy deal.
Thank you, man. I'll watch him do that. I watch him do that like every YouTube video, and now I got to see behind the scenes. Thank you, man.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
And just like one of the backyard hooligans, Ryan said to me, Crocodile just doesn't sell, man. But me and Ryan did end up making a deal. I got the Ace SP in my collection. I am buzzing. Before I leave the show, I got one more thing I needed to do that I haven't told you guys about yet. I had earlier in that day stopped at Target and managed to find some Pokemon product for retail price, a Chaos Rising booster bundle and a 3-pack blister. The problem is I'm not really interested in Pokemon, so I wanted to find a vendor who would take these Pokemon products and trade me for One Piece products. So I need to find somebody who deals with both, and that wasn't actually as easy as I thought it would be at a card show. But I ended up finding this dude who did take my Pokemon product and gave me a fair price for it. So I got a discount and got this Sabo card, and I still had a little bit of cash left. So I end up with the Sabo SP. So now I've got the 2 promo cards, Luffy and Zoro, Treasure Rare Zoro, Luffy Taru SP, Sabo SP, and that Ace SP. I'm pretty happy about the day, and I left the show happy. Back at home, I started looking over all the cards I picked up, and that's when I discovered something. Remember that Treasure Rare Zoro? I told you I was going to tell you what was wrong with it. When I examined it under a magnifying glass, which I actually use nowadays to check out all my cards like a jeweler, I found a fingernail print on the back. It was hard to see, so I honestly don't even know if the vendor really noticed it. But once I saw it, I couldn't unsee it. And that moment taught me a really big lesson. Take your time, man, and really examine raw cards before making a deal. Look, the good news is I eventually managed to trade that card toward a cleaner copy, and I'm hoping that that cleaner copy can grade pretty well. And I also can tell you that the same place I found to make that trade would take my Crocodile cards and other cards that I couldn't sell that were worth $5, $10, $15, or $20 a card. It was really hard to get rid of that kind of card at the card shows. The card show guys usually want cards that are $25 or more, and usually a little bit more, because that's kind of what they specialize in. They don't want to carry around a bunch of $5, $10, and $15 cards for the most part. At least that's what I noticed. I may be wrong, but that's the vibe I got. Whereas this place I found, they wanted the $5, $10, $15, and $20 cards because they had a lot more kids with smaller budgets walking up to them trying to buy cards. So it worked out, and I ended up walking away with this Buggy SP. So now I got a Buggy SP in my collection too. And like I said, a treasure rare Zoro that seems flawless. I'll tell you that story and tell you where that happened in my next video. Guys, thank you so much for being with me. If you like this video, hit the like button. Let me know that you like this so I can continue on with this channel and make more videos. Hit the subscribe. Let me know you want me to keep going, and I will document my journey as I go. Let me also say that I do want to start my own Whatnot channel, or is it even called a channel? My own Whatnot page, whatever it's called. And I'm thinking about starting it this very weekend if I can get the cases of OP16, because I'm trying to get my hands on some cases. I think I can get them, but the truth is I can't really afford to rip them all by myself. So I'll be opening some cases on Whatnot, and then after that I've got some other ideas to make sure that we're giving away mangas and things of that nature. So look for Samix on Whatnot. Yeah, by the way, it's Samix. Everybody who sees the name keeps calling it CMEX. No, Samix. All right, guys, I'll see you soon in the next video. Bye.